welcome along to the Mackem Football Show. I'd say impromptu. It's well thought and well efforted. A return, I guess, to form a little bit more of let's chat about Sunderland. It's been a couple of weeks. I have struggled to wake up this early in the morning to tie it in with the boys in the UK, but slightly differently out if you're watching live. We've got whoever's talking will be in green. That is me, and for the Mackem. And so far we have Alan with us. Hello, Alan. Welcome along.
Good morning, stroke, evening.
Insert time of day whenever you're listening. Oh, right. So it has been a while since we've done one of these podcasts. The last one we did was just after we beat West Brom, and that was a couple of weeks hiatus after I think we confirmed fourth place. So we haven't really done anything on this channel since then. So there's a lot to catch up on, but I think we'll just bypass the last couple of weeks of the season because, quite frankly, I think everybody in our outfit was on holiday mode. Would you agree?
Yeah, well, what I would say is I think we drew in Norwich. I think that's the last point we got.
Yeah.
And then after that, mate, like, obviously, we knew we'd qualified for the playoffs in a roundabout way. And they played like it. And I don't know, look, he did a lot of rotations. I think at one point he did like 7 rotations in the squad. Alison Jones got a debut. You know, obviously Tommy Watson was coming back in. The lad at left back, I can't remember his name, is it Anderson? Off the top of my head.
Yeah, it was Anderson. Yeah. It was.
So, like, I feel like he was trying to protect players, which I totally understand. We still had Ballard injured at that point. Mundell was injured at that point, you know. So the team didn't look like what the team is probably going to look like when it goes into the final.
No, I think you're right there, mate. Like I said, it felt purely rotational, like an obligation that we had to go through. So it did mean Sunderland went into that playoff set against Coventry as like the worst ever out of form side, picking up, I think it was 7 games before the end of the season, our last win against West Brom. I think we picked up 3 points in 10 games prior to that as well. So the end of our season wasn't great at all. It was relegation form, and it was extremely frustrating to watch. We still did the podcast, the watch-alongs and stuff on here, but it wasn't a nice time watching. And I will always stand by my opinion that if you lose 5 games in a row, any manager across any team needs to be looked at as the right fit. So, this is going to be controversial talking about this early in it if you're watching back, but my head was starting to drift towards why isn't that conversation happening with Reggie Libri now? And like you said, I think it is because we were so already in the playoff mode. The rotational player mode, like you said, that's where the excuse, and that's where that, like, he got the free pass from it on. So
but like, I mean, where I sit, you know, it's fans can every week and they expect your team to play. So I get it, you know, you're turning up when your team's just hammering through the game, and you're like, come on, they show us something. And on the other hand, you're like, well, sort of understand what's going on. Do you know what I mean? So I think the Bree was stuck between a rock and a hard place. You know what fans are like. Some are fickle. You know, some understand. It's just the way it is, football, isn't it? So I wasn't too arsed. You know, I was like, yeah, we're in the playoffs. We're not going to get automatically promoted. But going in, it was who we were going to get. Obviously, we played Bristol City, beat us. Coventry 3-0. It was just, you know, my only concern was form going in. But look, he's got players back, and for all it wasn't pretty to watch over 2 legs, I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? It was.
Yeah.
It's the end of the day. The result's the result, and we're going to Wembley for a chance to get promoted. So, I'll take it. Like,
Well, you said at the end of the day, right, where we're at now, was it? For me, it's the 17th of May. It's the weekend before the Wembley final. We've got 7 days of just build up and tension and all of that to it. But the 2 legs that were played against Coventry, I'd say the team that played the better football lost, but the better team won. And I know that sounds kind of controversial, but like a bit backward.
I get it.
But
I get it.
Sunderland played their game plan better overall, obviously, because we scored 3 goals. We scored when it mattered. We scored some solid goals, especially in that first leg. That going into that first leg with the massively defensive outlook. I think what was it? The possession stats were like 23 to 27%, something like that.
26%, I think. Yeah,
it was.
We were sitting deep, like
we were sitting deep the entire time.
They like to call it low block now, don't they? Low block.
we were part of the bus.
Yeah, it used to be part of the bus on feet, but now we'll call it low block. It's be part of the bus for a bit, yeah.
Yeah, because what was it? We knew our game tactic. Catching them on the counter is going to be fruitful or potentially fruitful for us. So, Meander's goal is more important than Ballard's a little bit because, quite frankly, if we don't get Meander's goal, we don't go into that second leg with a lead. And let's say the second game pans out exactly the same way it already did, we would have been knocked out at the 90-minute mark. So
I mean, he took it well, and the first goal for me was. I want to come on to one player that has not been overlooked, but he hasn't had the limelight. Obviously, Ballard took the headlines, Meander took the headlines.
Yeah.
But if you look over the 2 legs and key passes, Lafayette through ball at Isidore, right, split them in half, all right, with great pass. Obviously, Wilson scored. And Lafayette took the corner, you know what I mean, for Ballard's head. So, for all, he hasn't, because I think people think, he's going to be like Maradona or something, you know what I mean, or Messi, skinning people, but he's got more to his game. That pass and that set piece is pretty much, it's took us to the final. I think we've slightly overlooked a good player. Now, when we go at the final, I mean, I don't know how the team's going to look there, but I've just got a feeling the fee's going to play a big part, if you know what I mean, in the final. But we'll see. I don't know.
No. It's like you said, it's overlooked. It's massively overlooked. Like from a standpoint, like you just look at how well Isidore took the first goal. I think that was a pass by Joe, by the way, rather than Lafayette. But the Meander, yeah, was it?
Was Lafayette? It was Lafayette.
Oh, okay. I thought it was through the middle of the park and then dropped down to the left.
Dan Neil won the ball on the edge of the box, passed it to Lafayette, and then Lafayette took it, upfield, and then split the defence with a pass.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was it. Yeah. It was. I thought it was Joe for a minute for some reason. Yeah.
Hey, you overlook Lafayette.
You overlook it, yeah, because you just see the end result, right? You're looking at the person who's got the ball for the last kick, the last hit of the ball. You've got, like you said, it did split that defence down the left hand side, and I don't know if it was the catalyst for Coventry, like waking up a little bit or being a bit more aggressive. The Isidore goal, but that pass, like you said, pure quality. Most players are not making that, and you've got to put a lot of credit onto Isidore for being able to slot that home, because there's a lot of work to do down. What is it? Like
Yeah, he
take,
had a
really.
lot of time to think about it as well. Do you know what I mean? So you know what it's like. If sometimes people have a lot of time, they sort of mess it up. Like, but
You think too much, you
you know,
squiff it,
he
yeah.
looked, yeah, he looked composed. He went in the box. Like Mark, he's quite relaxed when he took the shot.
Oh,
I
extremely,
don't
yeah.
think that. I don't think. Correct me if I'm wrong. That keeper is their first choice keeper.
I have
I'm not.
no idea. I don't know enough. I don't. I'm
Don't,
much.
and I'm sure someone was saying, yeah, if their other keeper was an engineer, he'd be in. So I'm not saying, you know,
Mm,
he's at fault for the goal. You know, he tried to get down, he didn't. But I'd say positioning for Meyenda's, it did Meyenda a massive favour the where he was. You know what I mean? Because he had loads of room to go around him. So
yeah.
I heard people talking about like that isn't the first choice keeper, and you know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Not like I said, I don't know enough about Coventry about that being a true statement. But I can imagine something similar coming out when if Pato did the same thing. Well, he's not our first choice keeper. We should have been using more instead. Like if you don't know the squad that in depth, you might be able to like read that as trust and face value. But everybody knows if you're supporting someone, Pato is the number one choice. It's a bit of a shame for Simon, but like. Yeah,
Well,
my
for Moore,
for Moore, yeah, like it's a bit of a shame for Simon Moore, but like you've got maybe a little bit of how do you call it, excusism or how, like he's not our number one goalkeeper, and anyways, like he was the number one you chose on that day for a reason. Could be injury, could be
yeah,
whatever. He's more game ready. He was their number one choice as far as we were concerned because
yeah.
that's the one they put out for the playoffs.
I tell you, Pato, like through the game, like I know we've criticised him in the past, but I feel like the start of the game, the first leg, I think he came out and missed a catch or something. It looked like he was all over the place, but afterwards, I feel like he did come and collect, and he was a bit more commanding. So that I've got to, because I imagine everyone's nervous, like so. I feel like Pato did all right over the two legs. I can't have any complaints. So, let's give
Whoa.
him credit where it's due. Like,
Fair on you. Fair on you. The Pato's first game performance. I don't want to go through everybody's performances individually, although I could.
uh,
Pato's first game, like you said, a little bit cagey, especially to begin with. But I think he punched Ballard in the back of the head during like a cross come clearance. So
mm, yeah, Ballard's hard as fuck, so he probably just didn't even notice it.
yeah, well, there's a moth on my nose. It's a Ronaldo reference if anybody gets it. Yeah, he just looked like he was told like get into it a bit more and get stuck into it a bit more. Like I think he was fearful for like how he would impact at the defenders and stuff like that in the first like 5-10 minutes. After that, like you said, he just looked solid. He
Yeah,
looked like a
yeah, he
proper
played well.
brick house, and that's what you want from a keeper.
Yeah, he played well, and he played well in the second leg. Like their goals, like I'll tell you what one player is it that torment us the whole the two legs is that Shimeko. Like was it Shimeko? I can't remember how you pronounce it. Japanese right winger or right midfielder.
Semedo.
Yeah, I can't remember. If I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, Shimeko or something like that. But he tortured us. Good deliverer of the ball, low
Mm.
centre of gravity, can beat a man, work hard. But what I'd say is, if you look at the second leg and the last sort of 20, 25 minutes of extra time, he was fucked. He was hanging out. He couldn't run. And I feel like I'm not saying they were over reliant on that side. They love to go down that right hand side a lot, especially to him
Mm.
because he is a quality player. You know what? If I was watching that and I was a Premier League club, because Coventry's not gone up, I'd maybe put a cheeky bid in for him, like because yeah, I was impressed by him like over the two legs. He's one who stood out for me.
Yeah, I know you were at the game itself, but I was pretty much saying the same effect. Every season, Coventry seems to have these one standout players, and I don't know if it's like,
Talisman.
sorry,
A talisman.
the talisman. It's the talisman. A couple of seasons ago it was Gyökeres. Last season it was surprisingly Ellis Sims. This season it's Semedo.
Jamaica. I think we're saying it
Simico.
wrong, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this season it's him. And like I said, if we were to do that, like he is one of the few people I would probably pick from their squad to be in the Sunderland team. I know exactly who he would replace as well. Patrick Roberts.
It'd be Roberts straight away.
It's competition
I'll
for
come on
him.
to Roberts in a bit, and I feel a little bit sorry for Roberts in the fact that, you know, when you're sitting deep and you're in a flat four, and it was a defensive game, you're gonna find it harder to get forward. Do you know what I mean? As a winger, because we're not up high. There's more men to take on if he gets the ball. You know what I mean, in the transition. So he lost the ball loads in the second leg, and I was like, and when he got took off and Munnell come on and Rick come on as well, I can't remember when off. It was two, Robertson, someone else, I can't remember.
Isidore.
Oh yeah, sorry, Wilson. Yeah, I thought when them two came on, we looked a lot better in that last 25, 20 minutes at extra time. I don't know if you thought that, like, but when I was watching it, and I was like, well, we look comfortable now, but they were fucked, like they were knackered.
Yeah, and I think that is a little bit of, was it like wear them down? What's like a tactic where you just like let the energy box themselves out? That's essentially our game plan in those two games, and it works. It works effectively.
It works, but well, some people say like it's harder to defend for fucking 90 minutes, but I feel like we looked like we had more energy. Or obviously the Mienda goal was right at the end. The Ballard goal was right at the end. We looked like we had more energy near the end of the games, like, so. Maybe that's a fallacy. I don't know.
No. I've like you said, I think we definitely did have more energy, and there's another tactic that I think might go. Like a couple of people might spot it, but especially in that second leg, the substitute timings were very strange from like just how you read those timings from a opposition standpoint.
From Labrie.
Yeah, Labrie's first substitution from a Sunderland perspective was in the 82nd minute. He's playing for extra time, or he's playing for something. Yeah.
Maybe that was a tactic. Maybe he knew, right, we might not get a goal in open play here. I'm going to wait late on to get the subs on, so we've got more energy near the end. Obviously, fucking Yellow came on with like 2 or 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, he was on in the 113th minute or something like that, wasn't it? It's like, what are you doing?
So, I mean, that might have been a penalty decision, I don't know, but because he might, I don't know, he might be smacking them in training, who knows. But, like, the sub, it worked, you know what I mean? We can't really say anything about the timing because we're now gone to Wembley, so...
No, I'm not saying it's a negative. I'm saying it's just really hard to read from a Coventry standpoint. Like, are you?
Oh, right, okay. From their bench, yeah.
From their bench, like if we're playing for that high energy towards the end of the game, keep the tempo up, or just re-inject some life into the game late on. Like you said, it's worked. It's effective. We were in that final third a lot more. In the final 10, 15 minutes of the normal 90.
The last 15, we look good. We look all right. I thought Mundell looked, funny. He could have had a goal, So I'm happy Mundell's back as well because, he's pace, he's direct. I feel like Sheffield don't like it,
Oh, Sheffield
Sheffield won't be happy that Mundell's back. You know what I mean?
Because Mundell and Lafay on the pitch at the same time is going to be pretty much impossible for that Sheffield United team to read very well. So
I can't remember how we looking at the Sheffield how we played against them. Yeah, I know we won 2-1 Rome, I think, and we got beat. I think it was a penalty, wasn't it?
Yeah,
away. I can't remember really.
So the away game in November,
we were bad. I feel like we were matching them. Do you know what I mean?
I think the away game in November was that 1-0, like you said. Well, I think we were a really solid team in that stage, and they were having a bit of a dip in form. But the
Right.
New Year's game, I think, is the well, obviously it's most recent, but it's the probably the better test. We were the better team. I think we had a leaky moment in defence, like we do this season, where like why have we just invited them in? But overall,
Was
in
it a
that game, we
penalty?
were.
Did we give a penalty away? I can't remember. It's that long ago, mate.
Possibly, yeah, possibly. We give them away all the
Yeah.
time. It's a game. But like you said, it's a completely different story when you move to the playoffs.
Mm.
They've had a much smoother ride to the final than we have, but they're there with us. So I've got a question from Roken, and it's a lot of caveats in terms of presumptions,
Mm.
but we're gonna come back to the Sheffield game and talk about like what's our thoughts and opinions of how we're not going to play out. But the question is, do you think VAR is going to help us? So is VAR in the final first and foremost, and obviously we've never had it at the Stadium of Light. We've never had it in our league games. So I don't know if it's talking about next season or if it's talking about the final. That question, but VAR, do you think it will help us?
Well, I mean, it's 6-1 after the other, and it's you know you can rely on referees' mistakes or linesmen's mistakes through the game. But on the other hand, VR might spot something like a
Mm-hmm.
handball or a really tight offside. So, like, I'm indifferent about VAR, to be honest with you. I think it's, you know, we've got to just forget about that and just deal with,
Is it
the day in the game.
is it
Well,
available for the final? Is that
I don't know, mate. I, they mentioned it, so maybe I don't know. I haven't really looked into it, like.
I think
But
if it's the EFL overall would benefit from VAR or VAR in a way that doesn't interject. It's maybe just anything that's
yeah,
happened with the last 30 seconds gets reviewed rather than like stopping goal celebrations or incorrect whatever. Like throw-ins can get overturned and just go correct or not. Like they'll get a little green light or a thing to say the decision needs to be reviewed. That kind
is
of
it the
thing.
automatic offside one, or is it the one where they draw the fucking lines on it? Do you know what I
Um,
mean? Which one
yeah,
are they using?
well, it's one at Wembley, so it'll be the other one. Oh, what's happened there?
I don't know.
I saw a Discord noise. um, yeah, the
Joined it.
no, I don't think so. It's got a Discord noise. It doesn't matter. The
All right,
the,
carry
the
on.
the VAR for the final, I think, will help us. The EFL needs some kind of VAR system in place for most of the games. Overall, I think it would have helped us with anything that was whistled for this season, shall we say. Some of the decisions that we've conceded goals from, where the person's dived or it's been extremely soft, or it's gone out for
Yeah.
a corner and a quick little glance at the screen was showing you it's went the wrong way. That would have happened, I think, probably 80-20, the opposite way around. So any decision that went like for us was probably about 20% of the time and 80% against. So don't get us wrong. There will be other teams that will get beneficial calls from playing Sunderland this season, but I think we'd benefit for a lot more than most if decisions were getting
Yeah.
reviewed properly. So
Mhm.
I think it
Yeah,
could
I
help.
mean, but that's the thing, and it like we're sort of like maybe because we don't really know. You know what I mean? It's you only really know when the moment happens. You go, that was shit. That was a shit decision. Get rid of VAR. Oh, yeah, that was correct. Let's keep VAR. So
I like.
I don't know.
I know it kills the atmosphere in games. There's no doubt about it. Like players don't know if they're
Yeah.
allowed to celebrate a goal or anything like that. But I'd much
Mm.
rather them be that little bit reserved for about 15, 20 seconds and then celebrate the goal straight after because
And you
it's
could argue, I'm not saying Wilson's goal was offside, like,
That
because
one.
it looked onside.
It was definitely onside, mate.
Yeah, but if you've got VAR, that's like 5 minutes looking at that. Do you know what I mean? It's
When
like, is it or isn't it? So
when did the sound of the microphone pick up the ball getting kicked and yeah, all that ball? I don't know. I think from a Sunderland perspective, we've not seen it in our games all that often. I think we've played like 3 games since VAR was introduced with VAR active, and we've not
it's
really
that
seen it come
cup
into
games
flow.
probably.
Cup games, yeah. We've not really had that like, we've lost 10 games or 20 points or anything like that. It's just been, have we gone through to the next round of a cup? And quite
Yeah.
frankly, our cup experience, other than the other than the Papa John's trophy, we haven't really,
Yeah, the old glorious Papa John's.
yeah, we haven't we haven't really progressed in cup competitions probably since the mid 90s. It's not really our wheelhouse.
2014
The
when
final,
we
Man
played
City final.
City.
Yeah, yeah. So that was the
That's the most recent one, I think,
12 years
for
ago.
me personally. Like,
12 years ago.
yeah,
Yeah. Cups are not really
yeah,
our. And we were in the Prem at the time.
yeah.
VAR wasn't a thing. Yeah. So we haven't been progressing in cups since VAR's been a thing. So I don't know. It's half a dozen of one,
No,
six of
but
the other.
look, I think the final's going to be a final, and like it's going to different game than any of the games we've played. So it's a one-off game.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows? I feel like, and this is like, I feel less nervous going in to play Sheffield than I did like against Coventry. Like I sort of like thought, what, Coventry's a good team. They could knock us out here. Like I'm
Yeah.
not that bothered about Sheffield. Do you know what I mean? I don't feel the same about their team. So
See, I don't know
you
why,
know,
but I'm literally the opposite, and I feel like, because I think Sheffield have had the smoothest transition from a semi to a final I think I've ever seen or heard of
mm,
across any kind of competition. I think the only one that rings a bell that's even remotely close of going through like a final bit of knockout is Barcelona when they progressed to the final when they beat, I think it was PSG or Dortmund 8-2 over 2 legs. It's like
mm.
that's the better team is clearly progressing in that one. And same with Sheffield in this one. Like
I,
Sheffield absolutely outclassed Bristol City the entire time, and I don't think Sheffield were even in their normal high tempo form. They were just miles above how well
but
Bristol City were.
but when we played Bristol, like
Mm.
they had one chance and scored. And
Yeah,
I was like, we dominated the whole game. Like, I wasn't overly impressed with Bristol, and I just think because we qualified, for a while. The lads at Eds were like, I think the Bree said, players are players. I mean, they're gonna take the foot off the gas naturally because they know they're in the playoffs. They don't want to get injured. There's another part of it.
yeah,
You know, they're in a rotation. So for me, like, I just think I don't think Sheffield eh, are as I think Coventry's a better team. The two teams that I think we've played
yeah,
and have looked good is Leeds for one, right? Leeds,
yeah,
they're a really good team, and Coventry. You
yeah,
know, I think anyone else we've had spells and moments where we look the dominant team. You know what I mean? They're the only two sort of teams that I think where we've not struggled, but we haven't had possession. We're more defensively minded, and
yeah.
everyone else is like. You know what I mean? Nothing stands out for me anyway. I could be wrong.
No, 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 I get where you're coming from. Like you said, they have good attacking, free flowing football, or have most of this season at least. So yeah, Leeds, I think rightfully getting automatic promotion is justified, and to like you said, a little bit more of a defensive side of it, but sort of Burnley. Burnley's defensive record this season has been nothing short of just impressive. It's That's the standard you want from a defence in the Championship. If you defend like that, you are picking up points week in, week out. And I think if any team can replicate it in the future, they're guaranteed a playoff spot. You concede less than 20 goals a season, you're laughing on me, really.
But that's what they said, isn't it? If you can't win, at least keep a clean sheet.
That didn't they do that? Like, it was at 9 or 11 nil draws. Like, what the?
How many times a week, Smudge? What, I hark back to fucking when we played Watford, and we won. I think it was 2s each, and fucking Daniel gave away a penalty. You know what I mean? It's fine margins, and all them points that we've dropped where we thought we've dropped points there, we could have won there. You know what I mean? It's fine margins in the league, but I just think overall you can't not knock the team from where we are, because at the start of the season, if someone tells you, right, you're in the playoffs, you're going to Wembley, you'd have fucking went, yeah, I'll fucking snap your hand off. Because look at next season, who's coming down, They're going to have parachute payments. They're going to be able to, I'm not saying they're going to be like up the top. Like Luton's obviously, fell all the way through, but there's going to be teams up the top who've got more money to spend. You've got them two publicity clubs coming up. Wrexham's coming up with money. Birmingham's coming up with money. So I think next season, I think it'll be difficult. So
yeah,
I want us to win against Sheffield, because I think next year, I'm not saying it's be a struggle, but I think it'll be more difficult than this year. I think we've got to take our chance this year. Like
I get. Well, you've got to take the chance. We've got 90 minutes away from 120 if it goes extra time, of course. But we've got one game away from Premier League, from the return. And if it is going to happen, we've done it much faster than most of the other teams that have been fighting for it. Bristol City haven't been in the Prem for near enough 3 decades. Coventry, left the Premier League in 2001.
Bristol City in the Premier League?
Bristol City have been in the Premier League, yeah. I think so, yeah. They've definitely been in the top flight. They've definitely been in the top flight, but it's been a while. Last time Bristol City were in top league. 1980. Yeah, okay. So they've never been in the Premier League, but they've been in the top flight in 19...
What about Rovers? Bristol Rovers?
I can't remember Bristol Rovers being that impressive.
They wouldn't have been up there, will they?
Bristol Rovers were last in the top flight in 6th place, and I don't think they've ever been in the top flight.
All right, okay.
But yeah, sorry, let me just... Division 2, Yeah, the highest they've ever been is in Division 2 or the Championship.
We've been 8 years away, haven't we?
8 years away, yeah. 8 years is obviously a bit of a strange hiatus, but also we've been down to League One and we've built back up. It's again one of those cautionary tales to not be in that relegation fight in the Premier League for so many years, year in, year out. But also, if you do fall from grace, and we have, it is possible with the right backing and conviction in your game plan that it is possible to get to at least this 90 minutes away from being back in the Prem.
I'm going to harp back to what you just said there, backing, and that's another thing, like investment. And if we go up, I can't just speculate to say that we're going to spend money on players, because that's not the type of club we are. But hopefully we can sort of get decent enough spine to survival is the key in it. That's what we want. We want survival. You take 17th.
Yes. And again, this
16th, 17th, you take it.
This is just the natural thing that you do at this stage. Is it's having the winning lottery tickets. How do you spend it? I think it's a problem we should definitely discuss more in depth after the game. if we are Premier League bound or not. But
if we're successful, yeah,
exactly. But I have had a bit of a thought about it because this game is known as the outside of the World Cup final, the highest profit game known across all domestic leagues. It's £225 million for the winner by going back into the Premier League. Even if they finish dead last in the Premier League, it's that
what
much
you
money.
mean? That's like over the season, or
No, that's how much they are guaranteed to get next season as a prize winning. So you essentially
right?
have a 200 £200 million benefit from winning this game. You don't get that money in instantly. It comes across the line 12 months later, but it is that much of a fruitful win to come up via the playoffs. So yeah, there's a lot riding
Right.
on it, and an investment in the club. There's a couple of players like we've already mentioned, Enzo. I think we need to make him as a permanent, if possible. Is the clauses in
Well,
there with
I
him
think
and stuff like
that's a
that?
clause. I think the clause states we have to buy or something, didn't we? If we're going, I can't remember. You know, but look, Enzo, he had a little bit of an injury stint, but like I feel like he's playing out wide, and he a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to be like next season if we go and we still got him and where we're going to play him, but
Well,
I don't know.
yeah.
We just spitballing here, you know.
Yeah. That's
Spitballing.
That's it, mate. Now
Let's just
again,
forget. Let's just fucking park this bus and start talking about the fucking final.
I was just going to say that, but like you do that naturally. Like I'm going, oh, who do we potentially pick from like the three teams that get relegated? Because you've got players there that are definitely better, like Premier League level. Like for me, Liam Delap needs to be in the Prem, even if it's not with like whoever leads Burnley or whoever comes up by this final.
Yeah,
He
but
needs to be like at a
I
Premier League
don't.
squad. He's that good. But Jack Clark has had
But
his
that's
season
what I
in the
mean. No
Premier
one.
League, and does he stick with
But
Ipswich now or not?
but who knows what anyone's going to be like when you can't say that. You can't say Liam's all of the fucking good season with Ipswich. Who's to say he gets bought and is shite?
Yeah, because
Someone buys him, he sits on the bench and just fucking Jack Clark's prime example. I mean, Jack Clark's gone to Ipswich and hardly played. Do you
yeah.
know what I mean?
So yeah, I would
So
just say
you
thank
can,
you to that.
You are.
I'm saying thank you to that because you got we got 15 million for Jack Clark and 10 for Ross Stewart, two promoted Premier League teams, and they barely played.
Yeah.
They were glass slippers or just underutilized. So I think it's a little bit of karmic justice with those two players. A little bit like they've seen the Premier League lights in their windows and just
Well,
went jumped ship. Loyalty sometimes will get rewarded, and
there's no loyalty in football.
I know it's about the
There's no
bag.
loyalty
It's
anymore.
100% about the bag. But is it Wilson? Watson is the same thing. He's going to Brighton for the bag.
I mean, yeah.
It's
He didn't. But you know, the club's doing good business. You know, look where we are.
mm-hmm.
We are doing good business. So you can't say, "Oh, don't sell him, buy him." You just trust in the administration, and so far, I mean, I think I seen a tweet the other day about Dreyfus and that, and where we've come from with him. You can't really see anything, negative. Yeah, there's going to be bumps and ups and downs. Of course there is. It's fucking football. But overall, as an administration and as a club,
yeah.
I think we're doing all right. You know what I mean?
So I 100% agree, but I also want to caveat it. We've done it a bit in a bit more logical way. We have invested in everybody that has high potential, like extremely high potential. Job's a great example. Chris Riggs a great example. Obviously, Chris Riggs come from the academy, but Adil Oshish, extremely high potential. Ekwar, just Enzo Lafay, Huggins. Like you've got these players who were like you could see them play for their national team week in game in game out. That's where I think we've gone for it. Again, here's another one. Joseph Bennett. He was like the prime star, but it didn't pan out. And I think that's where we've kind of took that pool of like looking at the international youth market and going, who's like extremely good in that position, and gone for that. And it's worked, but we've done it that often that we've had some that fail, and some of them have actually gone through. So it's buying a lot of gemstones and hoping some of them are diamond. That's where I feel we've been at, and if it works, it works. Yeah. that aside, again, we'd look at our squad in the summer, see where we're at, if we're back in the Championship or if we're in the Premier League. We'll make those decisions and just praise Speakman for doing a pretty good job so far. Yes, back to the Wembley game, shall we? We've got Roken saying VAR and offside tech will be used in the playoff finals, according to Sky Sports. So we do have the benefit of any stupid decisions getting instantly rectified, and hopefully offside decisions for goals at least will be 100% correct. So, what do you reckon? I'm going to do a quick of a prediction. I'm going to go for a.
Can you hear us, Mug?
You were on mute for a second. You tap the mute button.
I've got fat fingers.
I saw the little icon on the corner of your thing. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Sunderland win.
What, on Saturday?
On Saturday, yeah. My prediction, 2-1 Sunderland win. Goal scorers?
2-1 Sunderland
win. Goal scorers, I'd never predict the opposition's goal scorers because if we knew where they're coming from, we'd be able to defend against them, right? I'm going to say Enzo Lafay for a goal from a set piece.
All right, free kick. I'll do that.
Potentially from another, like a corner or something. I'm going to say Luke O'Nien on a header.
I mean, back post header, because he won't be in the mixer, will he? Because he's fucking small. Hello?
Hello?
What's going on?
Yeah, you just said you just went he's small, so I just was waiting for your prediction after that point.
Oh, my prediction. I'm going to go. I'm going to back Sunderland, obviously. Type 1-0. And I'll go with Mienda, scorer.
Oh. I like that. That scoreline suggests to me a little bit, obviously, cagey affair. But do you think we're going to sit as deep as we did against Coventry against Sheffield? Are we going to play similar tactics, or?
I don't think. Well, Lebre's tactics all season, by that little dip we had, you can't really argue. And we didn't play like that all season, did we? We hadn't sat deep. I can remember playing Burnley and we battered them. They couldn't get out of their half. So
I think we changed that style like mid-February, like after the January transfer window. That's when we
changed it. Yeah, but I don't know if I can't remember why he did that, or was it injury forced or whatever. But what I say is, I think Lebre will do his own work. He's got to say, he'll have a plan. We've beaten them once. We got beat off them in a close game where we dominated. So I think, I've got a feeling it won't be like the Coventry game, but I don't know what it's going to be. Do you know what I mean? I can't say that. Like Coventry, but I don't know what he's going to do, which is great because Sheffield are going to be in that predicament as well. They're going to be like, well, I'm not sure what Lebre's going to do until an hour beforehand. So I don't know. I'll go with the type 1-0.
Even then, you're not even sure what he's going to do during the game. Type 1-0 will be class. I hope VAR is not called into action or anything like that, like any kind of refereeing interference, because we have had that issue a lot this season as well. like you said, the penalty decisions against Sheffield and what was it, the Plymouth game as well, early in the season when Rooney won. The refereeing needs to take a back seat and just allow the football to like come out a bit. I do think it's going to be two juggernauts fighting against each other here. And let's face it.
Smudge, you're breaking up, mate.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Is that working?
Yeah, you went off there for a minute. You started talking about VAR, and then it went off.
Is that just your brain tuning out to that conversation?
Oh no, it's just whatever. Where are you at? What fucking internet connection have you got?
I've got 200 download, 100 up, and I'm in Alice Springs.
All right.
I've got a good internet, like the only place in the middle of the country that has good internet. But yeah,
Are you staying there for the final, or are you moving around?
I'm staying here for the final. I'm here potentially. Well, it depends if the employer sponsors me or not, but I could be here for the next 2 years, which would be nice. Obviously, a couple of weekends away here and there, but yeah, should be here for the foreseeable. Fingers crossed. If not,
well, I hope so, because I'll get on a plane and come out and see you.
get you. Do you pass your criminal record?
Yeah, I passed the DBS check, so
there you go.
What I mean?
There you go.
That's the nonce check.
I mean, Boris Johnson's been here, so I don't know about that. No, yeah. What were we talking about? The actual game itself. It's one of those. It's one of those ones where you've just got to enjoy it.
Yeah.
You don't do streams together now. Yeah, you go enjoy the day.
Yeah. Well, I'll be going. I'm going with Crouchy, Fennis, our Luke. So
are you in a pack of four? Are you doing what we did last time and like you're splitting around the stadium a bit?
I'm getting the train down with Crouchy. Crouchy's worked his magic with the old train seats and stuff. So we're meeting Fennis down there. Fennis is going to be in London. So we meet him there. We've got a ticket for him. So we're all sort of together. I think 128, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Off the top of my head. Crouchy got the tickets. Like I just give me season ticket number and he just got them all together. Like so.
Oh, that's class.
Yeah, we've sold out. Like I think someone said. I mean, knew that was going to happen. Like we've sold out our allocation.
We always sell out our Wembley allocation, don't we? Regardless of what level it's at.
Sheffield have got. I think someone said to me they've got. I saw someone talking about it. They've got 22,000 season ticket holders. I could be wrong, but I don't know how big their stadium is or you know what I mean? Is there going to be? Because when we played Wickham, we got extra tickets because we couldn't fill the stadium. But I don't know. That's probably not going to be this case. But I'd like to think if there's other fans can get tickets, you know what I mean? They'll push them out instead of hoarding them for corporate and that. I always get as many Sunderland fans as we can.
The power of Google. They have a 32,050 seater, and they have 22,700 season tickets.
Right. Okay. But obviously they've got. It's like us, and we've got like 33,000 season ticket holders, and our fucking stadium capacity is larger. So we'll see. Hopefully, every fan who wants to go gets there. But I hate seeing it big. We see big segments in Wembley where it's like for corporate, and you're like, fucking hell. You know what I mean? Just give it a normal fan.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Can
you hear that really quite loud? No, I was just responding to Jeff. So Jeff's asked, "Do you know Cabby?" He's basically says, "Are you and Stu still mates? You don't do streams together now?" We're still mates as far as I'm concerned. It's just he just stopped and focused on his own channel. Fair enough.
Yeah, but you've got to remember where you went. You know what I mean, and what you're doing. You can't put as much time in as other people,
Yeah, no.
It's effort in it. Like you do, even you doing this is it's a ball ache for you.
Yeah. So I'm just going to show the video, like, very briefly of me waking up on this, because this is how do I full screen it? It's just pure. That's how bright it is in the day. Yeah, it's just a black circle. Like, you can just see a silhouette of my face. It's so early, so dark here. Like, you've got to have that motivation to get online and create.
Yeah.
Yes, God.
Right.
Yeah. What was the last point? I did want to talk a little bit away from the Wembley game. No, from the game itself, and more about like what people's plans are. So you've jumped into that a bit. Is anybody else that you know that's
Yeah.
going to the game?
There's one or two others. It should probably be Angela's gone, so no, but not be going down. I don't know how they're getting there. That's the big thing at the minute, and it's trains, planes, automobiles out here.
Hops.
People going down the day before. I imagine the Sun will take a big load down to go and sit in Trafalgar Square and get mullered. I mean, I can't do it this year. I've got other things like work stuff, so I can't make that. But you know what? I'm sure there'll be a big cohort of fucking Sunderland fans down in London on the Friday.
Yeah, hop, skip, and a jump, mate. Just get yourself there by any means. Put your thumb out on the motorway if necessary. As long as you got your ticket, don't go down there if you haven't got the ticket.
Hey,
Are you talking to your doggy? Are you talking to your doggy?
no,
I'm just saying you go, hi.
she's just looking at me.
Fair enough.
Little shit.
Paul Wilson's popped in the chat. What lad, how you doing? He says, joining late, but I'm going to Wembley with Bowers. Think we'll beat Sheffield. Going to say 2-0. Dan Ballard header. Of course it's going to be a Dan Ballard header. Of course.
Yeah, I think they'll probably be Mackem Dan Ballard on set pieces after I saw that. Like.
He'll to be fair, he's when the crosses come in, his header's his header's got that powerful. He could probably clear it to the halfway line. Just make him header it. Like
I tell you what though, when he got up
to
score the header, I don't know how he fucking did it, because he must do yoga, because fucking hell, he like folded himself in half.
Oh, it's impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, very athletic. Yeah, good.
You see how many bandages he had on his shoulders as well when he ripped his shirt off. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What's happened there? Is he getting yanked?
It was.
Is that where people like pull on your arm when you're trying to like defend corners and stuff?
That tape stuff in it. Whenever it does.
That's the one thing. That's the one thing I want to call out actually about the VAR system. It just reminded me. Luke O'Nien needs to be extremely careful with the shirt pulling. The shirt pulling needs to be cut out in this game, because we have form for it and we have form against us for it. But if there's VAR, that will be one of the things that people are like, well, yeah, he's pulling shirts. Just got to be very careful of that.
Conscious of that. I like to think he'd be conscious of that. What I will say, one last thing before I go on about the game and the header. What was good is the crowd stayed till the end. I'd say 99% of people stayed at the end, and the atmosphere was great. They were singing all the way through. The T4, it was just well done by the club and the fans. It reminded me like of the glory years. You know what I mean, with Quinn Phillips and and out stadium and
the brand new stadium getting promoted.
It was, and people are saying, it's the most iconic goal. At the stadium. Like for me,
it's up there.
From a Sunderland, it's up there. I'm going to give you my top 5 before we knock off. Anyway.
Oh, go on then.
So I'll start in reverse. I'm going to go Phillips. This is number 5. Phillips, Mags away.
That's not the stadium. 4, that's not the stadium. Like, you're just talking about Sunderland goals all in all now.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about Sunderland goals because just ones that stick out in my mind. So Phillips away, and then I'm going to go with Ballard's goal at the header at 4. I'm then going to go Richardson Mags at number 3, free kick.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was my number one. No, my number two. My number two.
And my number 2 is Gordon Armstrong header at Roker Park, quarter final FA Cup. Beat Chelsea, I think 2-1. Yeah, it was 2-1. I was in the forward end then.
Yeah.
And my number 1 goal is the Defoe volley.
That's my number one as well. That's my number one.
Yeah, for me, like, now to beat that goal, I don't think nothing will beat that goal. It was against and how he did it, you know. For me, that is nothing will beat it. Like, not like I know someone does beat it, but nothing's going to beat it at the minute. But Ballard's is number 4 for me.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably number 3 for me, and number 4, 5 is, you can put these in either order just because of the vast difference of them. Is Marty Poom and Key.
Oh yeah,
Key against Man City on New Year's Day.
Oh yeah, I was there. I remember that. Okay. We spitballing the other day about
it wasn't like a great goal, but it was just completely against everything in the game. And it's
we played shit the whole game. I think.
Yeah, I can remember so iconically Sunderland. It was unreal, and you're like, yeah, I remember that for a while.
There's other goals I haven't mentioned. The Carlos Edwards fucking goal. You know what I mean? Go 40 yards out. Davey I think it was Andrew or Davey put in the chat the other day about Daryl Murphy scoring a fucking scream. I can't remember who he was against.
You could put any of the 2 Lee Cattermole goals in there because they were never not screamers.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but that's what football is about. It's those kind of like, where the fuck did that come from? And it was the exact thing that I want to wrap it up against this Coventry thing. Like, I think that Ballard goal is just football karma on Coventry. The amount of just spiel you see where, like, even the city they've got adverts in Wembley again, ole ole, like, fucking at least
strange fan base for me, like, very strange fan base. I'm not too, like, I get the old Jimmy Hill thing. That's now been definitely put to fucking bed. All right, we've had revenge.
We've got to insert the title of the stream here. We're over the hill.
Yeah, we're over the hill. You know, but just strange how they sort of like fucking, you know, obsessed with us. I think some fucking Coventry fan got Sunderland back to get everywhere they go, tattooed on his arm.
Yeah.
I mean, that is mental. That is fucking mental.
it's cringe as shit. Yeah.
I mean,
there you
weird.
Go. So you got this Wembley again, ole ole. You've got this guy got it printed out on his shirt with the year 2025 on it.
Yeah.
Before the game, the Sunderland get battered everywhere they go tattoo. What a sad act. And yeah, there's a better photo of that Wembley again guy. Like, you don't do this shit.
I can't see your smudging up. You're seeing pictures now, but I can't see you on the screen.
Yeah. No, sorry. I'll send them to you on the Discord, on the WhatsApp then. But
yeah, but have you been broadcasting or not? Because
yes, I have. Yes, it's on YouTube.
All right.
It's on YouTube. So,
all
right. Oh, there's another one where, like, you've got, like, some fans. There will be some Coventry fans. There will be some Mag fans. There'll be some fans out, like some fans that just do weird, cringy shit, and that's what the entire fan base then gets the perception of. So there's a little bit of caveat to that, but when it's the club and the city itself doing those kind of adverts, there's a lot of premature decisions being made to backfire.
Hasty decisions.
And that's why I think the Sunderland till the end thing is, again, like, probably one of the perfect things. Because that goal, you couldn't get more of an end of a game if you tried. 121 minutes.
Yeah.
And again, to be fair, there's a cringy Sunderland fan. The guy got 121 minutes and 59 seconds tattooed on his forearm. It looks like a good tattoo, but
I mean,
it'll mean nothing if we don't get promoted,
it
right?
means something though because we won. I feel like that's not that bad.
We've won.
You know what I mean? It's a moment in our history, and it was a packed house and 46,000 people saw it. You know, it was great. But I'm not like that though. I'm the ultimate pessimist, mate. Like glass, glass half empty type person.
Well,
So I'll just
that's a perfect
try to
conversation. I'm a
see what
glass
they
half
do.
full kind of guy, aren't I? Until I'm not.
Mm,
You've got.
yeah, I just go on.
No, I was going to say you've just got to enjoy the moments while they come, and the tattoo I think is a little bit of a stretch too far. Putting a couple of posts out on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, that's where it's
Mm,
absolutely fine. Or if you're even doing it in the pub or whatever, just giving it a big enough work, fine, enjoy it. But like, at
yeah,
least make sure it's like something that's definitively happened. There
yeah. Well, I've got FTM tattooed on the back of my calf,
you
and
go.
I tell you
That
what,
that's
yeah,
definitively
but I
happened,
tell you
hasn't
how I
it?
got it. I got that at a stag do in Blackpool, and I was leathered, and I woke up and went, "Fucking hell, my legs hurting," and I looked down, and there it was. So yeah,
So the tattoo artist did his health and safety
I
check beforehand. He's not drunk at all.
can't, I can't even remember where I got it yet. So yeah,
Oh, you could have. Oh, that could have went so much worse. But yeah, FTM is forever going to be a thing you'll be happy with,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to
Well,
change.
I'm not that overly bothered by it. I just thought I'd just keep it.
Yeah, but you're not going to put like next year Wembley 26, Wembley 27,
Nah,
Wembley 28. Like
no.
that's just weird.
Well, that might do it. I don't know. It might start a new trend.
I reckon you
Well, like
should.
every match, like
Yeah,
Bristol City,
Bristol,
1-0
Bristol City. Like you
defeat.
literally just become Ceefax down your arm. No, yeah, you just enjoy the moments, but just don't go too far with it. And I think a lot of
Mm.
Coventry fans went too far with that defeat. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of Coventry fans that were very humble in it and respectful of it. Frank
Yeah, I
Lampard
mean,
wasn't one of those either, though.
oh look, I tell you what was before the game, it was the Frank Lampard fucking show. Talk Sports, Sky Sports, interviews. Even when we won, Talk Sport were like, "What's Frank Lampard gonna do next?" Who gives a fuck? We've just won. Do you know what I mean? It's like they're sort of like media darling that they want to look after. You know, he hasn't really done a lot, to be honest. Obviously, he had a good stint with Derby, and he's done well with Coventry. But overall, I would say he's just an average manager. But the
Uh,
media love him, you know.
because he's ex-England, that's why, and he's performing
I
well.
don't know. No,
No, you got to think of it the other way. Like Wayne Rooney had the exact same treatment. It's ex-England
yeah,
players getting it.
he's garbage.
He's
He's
a.
a garbage manager,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
But
So,
but I think it's
look,
it's a bit of a nice story because Frank's actually pulling out wins and stuff. So yeah, like you said, he is a bit of a media darling. But you're not going to get that with Reggie Lebris because
no, and
before the
that's the
season,
other point. Like,
who was Reggie Lebris
yeah,
to UK media? Just
and he does it when he interviews. He's obviously his first language is French, so you know he's direct and straight at the point, and he doesn't want to he doesn't waffle because he can't because it's he's speaking French, but and he doesn't get overexcited about things. You know what I mean? I imagine if we get beat or he doesn't show that much emotion. I sort of like that though. You know, the
yeah.
calmness and that he's just thinking about the game and tactics and stuff. That's what you want. You know, maybe he's not having no emotion will help his decision making. I don't know, but like
I,
overall,
I think he has got
yeah,
yeah. I think he's full of emotion, mate. He just like you said. I don't know if he knows how to.
is he? I don't think
Yeah,
he is.
no. I think he just you can see like he's thinking of it in French and then translating it to English, so the English just comes across as monotone. But if he was speaking in
Yeah.
French, I think he'd be absolutely just what's it called? Enigmatic, like just pure emotion.
You're right.
I think so.
Oh,
Yeah, he's definitely
give me that vibe, like.
he's a logically driven person, but I think he's probably on the same par, like style wise, as Dodds. Heart on the sleeve kind of thing when he's talking naturally.
Dodds was a good man. Well, Dodds was obviously a good man manager and coach. You know what I mean? The players like him. Maybe that's sort of instead of a hot-headed way of managing, maybe it's a more logical dad type approach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That young players like, so it's working, so let's fucking,
keep at it.
Until it doesn't work, like, fucking bollock them.
Yeah. The only thing I'm very conscious of is this is the first season in a very long time we've had one manager throughout it. Like the manager that starts the season ends the season. The last time I think that happened was Gus Poyet.
You've got a better memory than me, mate.
It's been I think like the 12 years. It's been a while.
Yeah.
We've had Alex Neil was close to it because he started in the Feb.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's nice to see that there is that level of commitment from the club. Yeah, continuity, commitment from the club, and I was saying about the match boards as well because we haven't discussed the match boards getting moved. I think that's potentially what they want to do is like push the game closer in and make it more narrow to match our play style. Or do we move it? Because we can't change the size of the pitch week in, week out, can we? You have to be consistent with it.
Yeah.
And maybe because the end of the season was done.
That was a one-off thing about their throws. I don't think it's going to happen every week. Like,
well, they changed the size of the pitch as well. The size of the pitch reduced by about 5 meters, like the width. Because if you notice, like the lines where the corner flags were, they were inset into the chairs. So I think you can do it at the end of the season, at the end of the match weeks, but you have to present the same pitch week in, week out from the start of the season to the end. So I think they just played around with it, and that might be how the stadium looks for next season going forward.
Well, I don't give a fuck as long as you win, mate. Do what you want.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, you can play on a fucking bouncy castle as long as you win.
Bounce on the Babylons. Yeah. Right. I think that's naturally where we'll call it. I don't know what's happening with the other lads. We can do a poddy just before the game, but I doubt. I think you'll all be down at Wembley, so might leave it until like the Tuesday or Wednesday after, so everybody recovers.
Why don't we do a season wash up, mate? You know what I mean?
Yeah, put after the Wembley game.
Yeah, season wash up. Big one.
Yeah, get the full form, you know what I mean? Have it playing up on the screen, all that. Yeah. It's cool.
Instead of off the cuff like we're doing at the minute, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But off the cuff, we've managed to waffle a little bit.
Yeah, we have waffled a bit, yeah.
just the two of us. We went up well over an hour. It's good.
Yeah. So, man.
So,
right.
Appreciate it.
Well, enjoy watching it, mate.
Thank you. I will do. Have a lovely time. Don't get too pissed.
All right.